Welcome to the Success Sensei Podcast for anyone interested in success, happiness, and balance. We'll teach you how to be a black belt at life. And now, your host, former professional fighter, multiple world champion, entrepreneur, and investor, Robert Devane.
Bowing in, this is Roundhouse Rob, the Success Sensei, helping you to win at life, one kick and punch at a time. Episode 131. Let's put a price on dossing. What's dossing? Before we proceed, I am aware that there's people that aren't familiar with the Irish slang. And dossing is basically to waste time, to spend time idly. So to waste time. We all do it. So I want you to be aware of the actual cost, how much it's costing you, the price of dossing. This is a really interesting podcast episode because it might, you all know that you shouldn't be wasting time, but this might actually really put it into perspective for you and make you just think about how you spend your time. Now, I'm not at all trying to be a killjoy. I'm not at all saying we shouldn't be spending time recharging our batteries. We shouldn't be spending time. Well, that's not really wasting time though, is it? See, that's the point. But I'm not saying that we shouldn't be doing things that are of a relaxing nature. I mean, you can't be going gung-ho, hell for leather, foot to the floor every hour of every day. You just wouldn't be able to do it. It is important to take time out. However, is it dossing time? Is it idle time? Is it wasting time? So let's talk about the most obvious thing right now, and that is, how much does your TV cost you? How much TV are you consuming? Now, I know a lot of people say, I don't watch TV, but it's the same thing. Whether you're watching it on your smartphone, whether you're looking at YouTube, social media, television, it's all the same thing. So if I say television, I just mean in general. How screen time, we'll say, your devices, how many hours a day are you looking at your devices? Now, I know most people listening to the Success Sensei are the type of people that probably are lower than the average consumption of television, social media, and etc. But we still all do it. Now, again, can I just preface this by saying, I'm not saying don't enjoy your favourite shows. I'm not saying don't watch television, don't watch social media. What I'm saying is beware of the cost. Beware of what it's costing you in your life. And we actually are going to run through some hypothetical costs, what it's actually costing you in monetary terms. So, on average, there's a few studies, but really briefly, without making this too crazy an episode, there was a Nielsen report which said that United States adults are watching, on average, 5 hours of television per day. Now, I'd say we're not far off that either, because there was another study, 2015 survey by Core Media and Ignite Research, that showed that Irish children under 14 are watching 2 hours per day, topped up by 2 hours of screen time. So that is your laptop, your phone, or your gaming, etc. So basically 4 hours a day. Now, from listening to all my friends, from looking on social media, the popularity of box sets and Netflix and television series has us binge watching more now than ever before. So I would imagine, on average, our consumption is 4 to 5 hours per day. On average. Now, I know you're listening to this and you're saying that's not you. You certainly don't do that. You are a goal-achieving organism on a path for success, and you don't waste 4 to 5 hours of watching television a day. It doesn't just have to be television, by the way. It could be anything that's wasteful. We did say let's put a price on dossing. So it could be drinking. How many hours are wasted drinking and being hungover and recovering? Just generally wasting time, dossing, dreaming, daydreaming, procrastinating, I don't know, browsing through pointless magazines, whatever it should be. I just think it's easier to talk about television and social media. So we'll say on average, all of us are wasting 2 hours a day. I think that's fair enough. Do you think that's fair enough? 2 hours a day, we'll say. That's very conservative considering the average is roughly 4 to 5 hours a day. So we'll say we are wasting 2 hours a day. And not just enjoying or not actually wasting, right? 2 hours a day. So we need to put a cost on it. And before we put it in monetary terms, we need to talk about two things. Number one, opportunity cost. So opportunity cost is the loss of other alternatives when one alternative is chosen. So you chose to spend 2 hours watching idle drivel instead of actually doing something else that could have been worthwhile or could have been producing you income, because that's actually what we're getting to. Then number two, the law of compounding, which is reinvesting of assets accelerates basically the growth of the capital significantly over time. So if you'd taken the opportunity cost, if you'd done something instead for those 2 hours that actually produced an income, and then over a long period of time also reinvested, interest would have been on your side. So there's two major losses. So there's the loss of opportunity cost and the law of compounding. Have I still got you? Have I confused you yet? You're still with me? Okay. So for example, let's get into it. 2 hours a day. What is 2 hours worth to you? So it's hard to put a price on 2 hours. I know there are people that are working jobs that are on lower salaries or on minimum wage, but I'm going to average it out and say 2 hours, it's definitely conceivable of you earning €20 per hour. Now, I don't think that's excessive because I've listed a few careers that you could be doing, and I've tried to go more so with the unskilled careers of how you could actually earn 20. Now, granted, if you're on a 40-hour-a-week job that's paying you minimum wage, that job couldn't pay you 20, but there are things, side businesses that you could be doing that earn you 20 that aren't actually that hard. Most online businesses can earn you €20 per hour, especially if it's only a couple of hours a day. And one that really stuck in my mind when I was working on this particular episode was delivery driver. I know delivery drivers who are earning a lot more than that. Takeaway delivery drivers who are earning a lot more than that, especially when you factor in the tips that they receive as well as their basic night wages. They're receiving a lot more than that. They're probably receiving 30 or more per hour for being a delivery driver. Handy person, I've already said online jobs or online careers or online marketing, web development, teaching your own particular subject online, affiliate marketing, they will all average you that, especially if it's a part-time job or more. Being a part-time handy person or helper, community helper, that could earn you that. Being a part-time photographer, massage could earn you if you're qualified masseuse. Massage could earn you a lot more than that. Being a part-time DJ, therapist, counsellor, labourer. Look, it's not conceivably that hard to earn €20 per hour or $20. I'm sticking with euro because I just confuse myself if I get into other type of currencies. So €20 per hour isn't inconceivable. Okay, so here we are so far in our hypothetical situation. 2 hours a day, €20 per hour. We could potentially be earning instead of wasting that time. That's 140 per week. So €140 per week. Multiplied by 52 weeks is €7,280 a year. We are going to, for the sake of the exercise, round it up to 8,000. Why are we going to round it up to 8,000? Well, guess what? You're probably going to watch more television over Christmas, over the Christmas period. So it's going to be more like 8,000 worth of euro that you could have earned throughout the period of the year. Now keep in mind, this is only at 2 hours a day. We really should have been working at 4 to 5 hours a day. So 8,000 potential earnings over a 1 year period, multiply that by 10 years is 80,000, multiply by 20 years is 160, by 30 years 240,000, by 45 years, if you started working at 20 and you retired at 65, you'd be lucky, but if you retired at 65, for 45 years, that's €360,000. Another really interesting piece of research is that the average pension pot in Ireland is €120,000. Only €120,000. You've just saved €360,000. Just pure savings from working 2 hours extra a day at €20 an hour instead of watching and dossing with your time, watching idle crap on television or social media. So that 360,000, by the way, just for the crack, if you were actually wasting 5 hours a day, and you'd put those of watching television, and you put those 5 hours a day into profit or into income producing activities, side hustles, it would be 900,000, nearly $1 million you're hitting over a 45-year period. So we'll go back to the more conservative 360,000. Now, if you had invested that every year, that 8,000 you'd put into a fund, and I've so conservatively calculated this one at only a 5% return, and I've also included a 2% inflation rate, so it's very, very conservative. Basically, it would be worth 1.4 million. So 1.4 million is the amount that you're wasting over a 45-year period if you are wasting your time giving, and you can't even just give 2 hours of your day instead of DOSing it. That is the potential price to you. 1.4 million. Look, this is all hypothetical, but I'm just trying to put it into perspective in your mind that time is money. As we said, opportunity cost and the law of compounding. If I can just get through to you that your time is a lot more valuable than you might think it is. So choose wisely as to how you're going to spend it. If you choose to DOS for an hour or 2 hours, and it's for a reason, it's not strictly DOSing. Obviously, if it's spending quality time, whether that's in front of the television or not, with your loved ones, then that, to me, isn't DOSing. But if it's a consistent, daily, over a period of time of wasting hours, and not just 1 hour or 2 hour, but several hours that you could have been doing something else over and beyond whatever your normal career is or your normal job is, then potentially at a very conservative rate, you have basically thrown away 1.4 million. I didn't even bother calculating the larger amount if you were DOSing more than 2 hours a day, because sure, what's the point? 1.4 million was enough for me in this exercise. If that gets you thinking, that's all I'm looking to achieve. Have a think about how you're spending your time. Do absolutely recharge your batteries, but also make sure that you're using your time productively. This probably has come at a time where it's very easy for us all to be wasting a lot of time during COVID-19 and quarantine. So maybe the timing of this wasn't great because it's just made you feel really guilty about the time that you wasted. But that's not the purpose of this episode. I'm not trying to make you feel really guilty about the past. I'm looking to motivate you for the future. That is my objective. Thank you for listening. I'm Roundhouse Rob, the Success Sensei. Life is a fight you can enjoy and win. Bowing out.
This has been the Success Sensei, fighting the winning fight. So add us, subscribe, like, and comment. Keep those hands up and keep moving forward.